Keisha, queen of the plot. Hit that bell, cause the tea don't stop. She don't miss nothing, got the scoop on lock. Spilling all the tea while it's still too hot. Late Keisha, Keisha, queen of the plot. Hit that bell, cause the tea don't stop. She don't miss nothing, got the scoop on lock. Spilling all the tea while it's still too hot. Late Keisha, Keisha, queen of the plot. Hit that bell, cause the tea don't stop. She don't miss nothing, got the scoop on lock. Spilling all the tea while it's still too hot. Late Keisha, Keisha, queen of the plot. Hit that bell, cause the tea don't stop.
Hey guys, thank y'all for being so patient. Baby, when I tell you I was hot as F-U-C-K, I know them people thought I was crazy because I smooth went off on their ass. Like, I went over to the leasing office at soon as they opened at 9 o'clock. So I said, I'm going to go to the leasing office, run, grab me some eggs, come back, do my breakfast. I looked up. I'm like, it's 12:43. I get back over there. I told the lady, I said, listen here, it's almost 1 o'clock. If y'all don't have somebody over here by the end of the day, I will be staying in the hotel and I'll take it out the rent. Don't play with me. I sleep with a damn CPAP machine. Do you, girl, if you don't, she was like, you want, yes, ma'am. Come on over here and fix it. Then they came over here and was like, oh, the filter is dirty. Why y'all don't have this on the maintenance? That's why people stay in apartments. Come on, get this fixed. Is y'all crazy or something? It's damn 81 degrees. I was literally sweating. I mean, sweat. I'm like, girl, is you out your mind? What's wrong with you? One thing I can't do is be hot. You out your mind? Y'all, I had done lost it, child. But I'm back now. I done took me a shower. The house is cool. And this is why I got to hurry up and find me a house because I can't deal with this. Like, this is too much. Like, whoo. But I feel better, y'all. So let's kind of get into the video. Now, let me kind of tell y'all what's going on. Well, you already know what's going on with regards to, you know, Rasheeda Frost and Kirk Frost and their son. If y'all recall, when I first did the video, pretty much was getting the information from the blogs. And, you know, the story then was, you know, Kirk and Rasheeda's son. And at that point, I was like, okay, I know it's not Rasheeda's son. This got to be somebody else. So ultimately, we did learn that it, in fact, was Rasheeda's son. Now, if y'all have been following the blogs like me, what you also learned is that there was information that was put out by, I want to say, his sisters. And I don't know if these people are really his sisters because I don't know these folks. I'm just really saying from stuff we have been able to read online. But what had been stated was basically is that allegedly the daughter, which is Kirk's daughter, you know, pretty much set this up is what was being alleged. Now, again, the reason why I wanted to do the video is because, you know, we see the stuff on the blogs and we pretty much talk about it. And I wanted to come back and just talk about the new information that I heard. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. When I first, you know, was seeing this, you know, obviously we're talking about it. But let me tell y'all what I learned about Georgia. If you do anything, you going to jail, honey. They don't play. They lock you up and throw away the key. So when I was seeing this stuff online, the first thing I was thinking, like, wait a minute. There's no way. How could these people be free? No. So I requested the report. Now, I requested the report on Monday. And they said it could take 3 days, and it could be a situation where they tell me I can't get it, but I can go down there and view it, because in some instances you cannot get the report, but they'll tell you can come in there and review it. Now, I won't find out for 3 days because I want to see the report, because the narrative that, I don't know if these are the relatives, but whoever these people are, they are saying that they are sisters. The narrative that they're saying is basically that this was a setup. Y'all cleaned up the area, and this person was left for 3 hours. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, something just don't add up. Okay. So again, the reason why I jumped back on here, because I got new information. And no, I did not speak to Rasheeda or nobody in Rasheeda's family or Kurt or nobody in their family. Want to just make sure we set that straight up front. But I was able to talk to somebody that is familiar and very close, to their family. So here's the deal. The narrative that's being painted that is saying that Kai is, I guess, on the run, or the police is looking for him, it's not true. So I just wanted to say that. And in my mind, I was like, hold on, the police looking. What is going on? It almost make you think that it's some kind of conspiracy going on. And again, that is why I requested the report, because I'm like, something just isn't adding up. And I'm sorry, hello, on Facebook, on all 3 of my YouTube channels, on Twitch, and on Kick. Hey, everybody. But yeah, like I said, I wanted to come on here and talk about it. I'm doing fine, everybody. I hope y'all doing fine. But the narrative that's being painted that said that, the police is looking for, Kai or whatever, that's not true. So I've been told that is not true. So I'm not sure what is going on or why the narratives, but y'all can understand, if you've ever lost a loved one, especially to a situation like this, people be mad. So I'm not saying that is what is going on, but what I can tell y'all is there is an open investigation. And even if you read what the police says on their side, it said that person was questioned, a person was let go. So I just wanted to jump back on here, because you think about it, the stuff that was being reported is the stuff we were talking about, like, oh, wow, this person is on the run, and, they cleaned up the scene. And then there was one where somebody said, oh, and, they had left them for hours. So it seems that information may not be true. But again, people get upset, their loved one, their cousin, their brother, if you guys have ever, lost somebody to, like I said, you could kind of understand. But that, situation about, people being on the run is not true. Now, I can tell y'all this now. Before I was, set to do this video, I had pretty much what I was going to say. Now, I don't know if you guys have had the opportunity to see this audio call that it looks like T Hood's mother, allegedly. I don't know if that's his mother, because I don't know these people either, but I guess they're saying that is his mother, who was on the phone with what's her name? Kelsey, who is the should I say ex-girlfriend? She was the girlfriend, his girlfriend, before he passed away. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I was a little bit confused. I was very confused, because I said, what's going on here? Because the information that I received, let me just make sure y'all understand. I don't want to say exactly what I've been told, because I don't want to say anything derogatory towards somebody's loved one. But I can tell you this: they said that they are investigating, and once they're done, they will update it. And again, with somebody's loved one died, nobody is trying to hear anything anyway. So what you say, Keyshawn? I knew when they had all their kids working in that restaurant together, they were a mess. So what was I getting ready to say? So what I wanted to say, y'all, is I'm stuck though. I'm very confused, because I don't know if you guys saw this audio call, and I don't know what Kelsey is saying here, but let's kind of listen to it, because I was a little bit confused. Like, okay, girl, what? I don't know if y'all heard this, but let's get into it.
That your brother shot Tevin. They supposed to have him. Okay, so I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna find out.
So, yeah, please do it. Like, I'm asking the same questions. What I'm saying is like.
Okay, when can we get his things, Kay?
I don't know. They maybe have the wrong information. They tried to find him. They sent the little SWAT team with the little shit with the big iron. They came and he was taken into handcuffs. I told you that was wrong. I don't condone that shit. I don't give a fuck, brother or not.
Now, one of the things she said is that he was taken into handcuffs. And they also say that they said somebody was taken into custody and then they was released. So there is a bunch of information that at some point will come out. And that's pretty much it. Now, I know, again, when I was listening to this call, I'm like, what is she saying? I'm a little bit confused as to what she's saying, because we do know that nobody is on the run or they're not looking for anybody. So I'm not sure what Kelsey is saying here. And if y'all look at what it says admitting her brother unalived Tevin Hood. I don't think that's the question, but I will say this. I think the question is what happened. So I think the question is what actually happened. It's not, I mean, come on, y'all. We kind of figured that out. The police probably figured that out. So I don't think it's a situation of who did it. I think it is more a situation on what happened, if that makes sense. Right. Yeah. She needs to be quiet and get off social media because she confusing the whole situation. Kay said, well, I can't wait to hear, because where did the sister get all that information from about the body being left for hours? Yes, and cleaning up. Now, Kay, I'm glad you said that, because I had those same questions. Like, why, why did this person say this? But let me just tell you what I had to do. Because I had a uncle. I never forget. My son is 24. So my son wasn't even 1. And my uncle passed away. Now, my uncle passed away from a DV situation. He had my uncle used to fight his girlfriend. And I don't know what happened this time, but she ended up with a knife, and that was the end of it. But I remember when I went back in my mind about that, I said, dang, nobody really ever said what the situation, because everybody was just mad at what this woman had did. So again, they're saying that it's a lot of information, and people really don't want to go on social media, because don't nobody want to bash a grieving family. Like, what they supposed to say? Like, this is what really happened. So I think, well, I'm not gonna say I think, there's more to the story, because if there was a warrant for the arrest, we would see his face on TV and it would also be updated. So we know that there's not any type of warrant or anything for his arrest. Tanya said they're going to make Kirk Jr. take the charges and protect little boy Rasheeda. Kai? Just my thoughts. Well, from the information, Kirk, and see, that is another misconception. Kirk Jr., he didn't really have anything to do with it, I don't believe. And that's another misconception. When we read on the blogs, it made it seem like, these two people attacked this one person, but I don't think that's what happened. That's what I'm trying to say. Because again, I wasn't there. I'm just going on information that I was told, but there's a lot of more information is what they're saying, but people don't want to just come out and say it. Because again, when somebody died, you don't want to be like, well, this person was doing this or this person was doing that, because it almost makes it seem like you are making a excuse for what happened to the person, if that makes sense, without really saying exactly what they're saying actually happened. If that makes sense to y'all. Do you think they will cancel Love and Hip Hop? Absolutely. Love and Hip Hop don't got nothing to do with that. And keep in mind, this is a legal issue. They're not going to be talking about this on Love and Hip Hop. This is a legal issue. So y'all, they're not going to, I mean, you may hear some castmates at some point reference it, but you are not going to hear Kurt and Rasheeda talking about this on Love and Hip Hop. These are their kids. Like, why would they be talking about a case about their children? That don't make no sense. Maybe the brothers went over to the house after they heard their sister. Okay, Okay, I'm gonna read Mary Jane's and I'm gonna answer. Maybe the brother, I'm gonna put it on here because I don't know if y'all can see it. Maybe the brothers went to the house after they heard their sister fighting her boyfriend on the phone. That's just my theory because she keeps saying she didn't call her. Okay, that's a good one. I'm glad you brought that up because I missed it. So Kai lived there. So what I'm being told is Kai and Kelsey lived there at the house together. So I think the reason why she's saying she didn't call them is because if I live there, if we live together, why would you have to call me? Because I already live there. So I think that's another misconception. That's another misconception is you can't call somebody if they already live there. So I guess that's probably what the misconception is because he allegedly lived there with her at that house is what I'm being told. But it's a lot of information that people are saying and, going back and forth. But one of the things that, that's very clear, and that's why I said I got the police report, because I'm like, wait a minute, there's no way. Like if this, why would these people not be arrested? Because y'all do understand, even if it's a case where they're investigating it, they still can lock people up. Like they can still arrest you and still investigate the case. But in this particular situation where you have people not arrested, there's some information that we don't know. Y'all understand that there's something that the public just has not been told. The mother said, if you told them that your brother shot him, why isn't he still in custody? Kai said, exactly. So it sounds like she is admitted to the police he did it. Well, here's the deal, Marquita. I don't think there's any misconception about who did it. I think it's the why. Because, think about it. The police is going to arrest you if, let's say they came to your house and somebody is pow, laid out, they deleted, and you be like, I don't know what happened to him. They're going to arrest you then, because if you don't know, you were here. So I think it's more than that. That's kind of surrounding what actually happened. Exactly, Miss AJ. Okay, Kai living there changes the dynamics. Right. So he actually lived there, which is a difference, because if you kind of understand where I'm going, when I'm seeing all of this stuff online, I'm like, you called him over there? And I'm like, oh no, this is bad. But if a person lives, if I live in my house with my sister and an altercation happens, this person didn't need to call me then because I was already there. And Nero 313 said all of them should have been taken to the station and interviewed. And so and this is what I want y'all to understand. I don't think that the police didn't interview them. I think it's what they uncovered when they did their investigation. So I don't think, because let's just think about this for a second, especially in Georgia. I keep telling y'all, if you're going to do something, just don't come to Georgia and do it, honey, because they're going to lock you up and throw away the key. So when they're doing this investigation, was it a Ring camera that they found? Was it surveillance? What is it that they could have found that led them to be like, okay, we'll continue to investigate, but we don't think we should lock these people up? So that's what I'm saying. It's more to what we're actually seeing. And ain't nobody, going to go back and forth with, a deceased relative about their relative to say, well, this is what happened. Like at that point, what do you say? I also saw that the boyfriend had whooped Kai before. Okay. I also saw that the boyfriend had whooped Kai before. So if there was a DV situation, probably leaning towards self-defense. Now, TJ, is it Myrix? You said it. I'm just going off of what you said. Now, since you brought up the self-defense situation, now, one of the things that one of the sisters said, again, I don't know who these women are that say they're the sisters, but I think one of them names like Myasia. She said something about if it were self-defense, why did he get pim in the back? So as we're talking and you brought up the self-defense thing, think that may be something that they're looking into. I cannot say that this is what happened, and I'm by no means is saying this is what happened, but I believe that is probably what they're gearing toward, because if I'm in my house and something ensued in my house and I don't know, the situation between him and Kai, or if it was a situation where he had jumped on Kai before. Now, if that's the case, now you see how this is probably looking in terms of, from the police standpoint. Yeah, so that's I'm glad you have brought that up, because I had been, told something, not the part about him jumping on Kai. I don't know about that, but if that was part of it, then I mean that could be it. Okay, the self-defense thing is this: if he was right, that meant he was trying to get away. And see, the thing about that, Mary Jane, we don't know. And that's why I asked for the police report, because again, they were saying on the, on the internet that, he was pow-powed in the back. We don't know if he really was, or if it was, a front and went through the back. I don't know. So good question, because I was wondering the same thing. When I saw that, I immediately was like, oh no, going to jail. So that's what I thought, but we don't really know if that really was the case. Doesn't self-defense go out the window once someone gets shot in the back? These are all good questions. And again, that is what was told to us on the blogs, but we don't even know if that's the truth, if I want to say, because I don't know. But one thing is to kind of understand is they did conduct some kind of investigation. And if they let the person go, I'm just curious as to what did they find. Hi, Kenya. Hi from Kenya. I'm sure the girl knows who did it. I don't think it's and I know you guys keep saying it's not a question on who did it, y'all. I don't think that's the question. Why are people assuming it was self-defense? Even Kelsey never mentioned that. I don't, you said why? So the purpose of this video is really not to make any assumptions, but to say that, when I did the original video, it was pretty much like, the police is looking for him, yada, yada. That's not truthful. So the police is not looking for him. He's not on the run. I know there was some information out there saying he was in hiding, and I would attribute that to, maybe you just don't want to be seen right now. Like if this was going on in my life, I would probably be hiding too. Not really hiding from the police, hiding from the people. So it's not a situation where, he's hiding from the police. So that's just not true. Yeah. Right. We need to see the police report. And that's what I requested, because I'm like, it's too many inconsistencies here. Something doesn't add up. Again, they were saying, he was in the back. And I'm just like, okay, so how do you get away from, because if a person is walking away, how do you? So that's why I said I got to get the police report, because something don't add up. Honestly, the audio of Kelsey may be the nail in the coffin. Well, here's the deal. It would be the nail in the coffin if the police didn't know who did it. I don't think it's a question about who did it. I don't think that's the question. Because keep in mind, if the police were called and they came and somebody was deceased in your house and you said you didn't know who did it, they're going to take you to jail. So I don't think that's the question about who did it. I think it's the why and what happened. Even if Kelsey was in an abusive relationship, she pissed that her man is, so she's going to keep coming to social media, speaking her feelings. Now that's a good one. Now that's right. So I like what you said. Even if Kelsey was in an abusive relationship, she's still going to love this, this guy. So it doesn't even matter. So you have to understand, she is, in her emotions, and she gonna keep coming to social media. So that's for real. So even if she was in an abusive relationship, she gonna love this dude and she gonna keep coming to social media. But I know you guys keep saying if Kelsey told the police that, I don't think it's a question about who did it. I think it's the why and what actually happened. I can't what did she, okay, wait, I'm sorry, I got the wrong one. I can't wait to see the Tommy and Nene interview. Child, no. Okay, Tommy and Nene. Wasn't her boyfriend shot 3 times before? Oh, I like, okay, I like Shioma, my lover. Now she's bringing up something that I didn't say yet, but I see is out here in these internet streets. Wasn't her boyfriend Pyum Pyum 3 times before? Is he a G banger? Now, that's what I've been hearing. I have heard that. I just didn't say it, but apparently you heard it too. So if you guys watched any of the stuff that was put on social media, they said he had already been, he had already been pow and was healing from a previous injury. And you said, is he a gang banger? I don't know, but I have heard that. I have heard that. I have heard that as well. I'm hearing the AB accusations were not true. I guess we'll see. And I heard that too. So the interesting part about this is it's like when you have a fight with somebody. This person is going to say what happened from their perspective, and then another person is going to say what happened from their perspective. Again, the purpose of my video is when I first saw this, I was like, oh shoot, they going to jail. This, the police is looking for them. I just wanted to come back on here and set the record straight because the police is not looking for them. They know where they are. They have talked to them, and they are still investigating it. So it's not a situation where, they hiding from the police. And so, Miss Edith, good question. So what I've been told, remember, or I don't know if you saw this, some of the stuff that was reported on social media was, they waited 3 hours. I'm hearing that was not true. In fact, when it began, the police was already on their way before any of the stuff had happened. That's what I'm hearing. So again, there's more information than what we're being told. And just think about it. Just think about this for a second. Your relative died because something happened at your relative's girlfriend house and her 2 brothers was involved. You finna be pissed off. You don't want to hear nothing. You don't want to hear nothing. Like, you are pissed. So I think it's a combination of, people are upset. Like, this is their loved one. So nobody is really trying to hear nothing at this point. I'm mad. My relative is gone. Your brothers was involved, and that's we finna take it to social media. We taking it to social media. So I think it's more that that we don't see, because again, like Kelsey's, her emotions are valid. I mean, you in a relationship with somebody, regardless to, what happened to them, if it's a family thing or something like that, you still gonna feel hurt. So her saying that she don't condone it is really not her saying anything other than she don't condone it. She don't like what happened, but this is not like it's a secret and nobody knows what happened. So if that makes sense, people just want Rasheeda and Kirk. What you say? People just want Rasheeda and Kirk have this against them. And the thing about it is Rasheeda and Kirk is not like, they don't have little kids. These are adults. So at the end of the day, I mean, these are adults. Like, they are fully grown adults. So in all honesty, this don't really have nothing to do with Rasheeda and Kirk. I mean, it's their kids. I mean, they're adult kids, but they're adults. I got you now. He is a suspect, was detained, but probably let go due to lack of evidence. Right. So I don't know if it's lack of evidence. I don't know if it's a lack of evidence thing. So I don't want to come on here really and say nothing negative about somebody's deceased loved one, even if somebody told me. So I just want to keep that clear. I feel like there's another side to the story. And, sometimes people could have been told this, but they may not accept it. Like, they may think that something else is, has happened, if that makes sense. You said the son's always getting arrested. I don't know. Were they arrested before? I don't know. Were the sons arrested before? I couldn't even tell you. Yes, it's their loved one, But dang, for the sister to get online with a whole story and she wasn't even there, that's wild to me. The sister was, you're saying the sister, she was there. She was there. But then you also have to understand, that's still her boyfriend. I mean, and keep in mind, y'all, somebody has lost their lives. Like, what can you say? Somebody lost their life. Really, it's really nothing you can say. Like, who wants to say something bad about somebody after they lost their life? That's like when you go to a funeral. Y'all go to funerals and they always stand up and say the most greatest thing about people. And you know all of those people was not good people. Like, what they supposed to say? Like, what are you supposed to say after a person dies? Nothing. Like, it's really nothing you can say. You said, can't believe the sister called Hood Mama and basically said, well, the thing to Lisa is, and this is why I keep trying to tell y'all, it's not a question on what happened to him. So I think y'all looking at it like, oh, she confessed. Like, it's not like the police showed up and was like, oh, we don't know what happened. I don't think that is what took place. So I think people missing the point. Yeah, I think people are missing a point because think about it. And I'm going to say it again. If the police showed up to your house and somebody is DEA dead, and you be like, I don't know what happened to him, and they've been pum, they taking you because how is the person in your house and you don't know what happened? So I don't think that it's a situation on what happened, but the situation surrounding what happened. I'm not saying that it's ever okay to, take somebody out of here, but there's been situations where you may gotten into it with somebody and maybe they got the best of you or you got the best of them. It's up to the police to decide who they going to arrest. And then keep in mind too, the police are there. They're going to take a report. They may take you now for questioning, but at the end of the day, this information is going back to the district attorney. So what they have stated is that they're still investigating. I don't know what the police investigation entails, but they didn't close it. So they are still looking to see what is this going to be about? Like, what are they going to do? Keep in mind, in order to be able to charge somebody with a crime, they want to think that they can at least prove it, right? No, the one who said he was set up, the person was not there. That is where the entire narrative came from. Right, Kate. Now that's a good one. I love that you said that. So this is another point too. The people that's coming online that's, saying this stuff happened, they wasn't really there. And again, when we see this stuff on blogs, we wasn't there either. So we're just going off of what we see these people put on there. So that's a good one. The people that's telling us what happened, they were not there. If that makes sense. I mean, we don't know that they're not there. When we see the stuff on the blog, we're just like, oh, shoot. But they wasn't there. Kelsey is a nutcase. She doing too much and running her mouth. Yeah, she could be making the situation worse. She definitely could be making the situation worse because, again, you have I mean, people love their relatives. So you have a deceased, they mad. Who wouldn't be? Like, of course, it's too much. I mean, if I was a parent and this happened to my son, I'm heated. Don't tell me nothing. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like their anger is rightly justified because don't nobody want to hear this. And then just think about knowing that your relative died in your house with your people. Like, you know what I mean? That's a lot. So, hey, I get it. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I don't. It's sad either way you look at it. Vaughn said, is that why Rasheeda mama cool with Jasmine on the show? We rarely see Rasheeda kids on the show. I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think this just kind of happened. Kelsey is running on emotions. Yeah, Kelsey probably need to get off social media. She's probably making it worse. Because, I mean, if you listen to that audio, y'all, from Kelsey, I think talking to his mother, it makes you think like it was a setup. It really does. So sometimes when people say stuff, I don't think they're thinking about how that can be perceived. So Kelsey probably would have just been better off not saying anything and waiting until, the police got their report or whatever. They reached out to the family because I don't know, maybe Kelsey feels some kind of way and really don't want to bring it up. I don't know. But at the end of the day, somebody lost their life. So it's a touchy situation all the way around. Like, I don't even know how you would even tell a person, mother, I don't even know how you would do that. I don't know how you would do that. I agree. Kelsey is definitely a nut. Oh, talking too much. Yeah. And guys, please make sure y'all hitting the like button. I really appreciate that. When we do live videos, a lot of times I don't do lives. And I'm going to just let y'all know why. Live videos are very different in the algorithm. And if you don't get likes, if you don't get people that's engaged in your video, it's pretty much like you just wasted your time. That's why I don't do a lot of live videos, child, because the algorithm is very different. You can do a 3-hour live and make $30 and do a video and make way more. So just so y'all know, that's why I don't be doing lives. Live is a whole different ball game. But yeah, like I said, I just wanted to come on here and clear that up, because I didn't even look at it from that standpoint. I wasn't like, oh, okay. So after I was, informed, I was like, oh, wait a minute. I didn't even think about it like that. So I just wanted to kind of come on here and set the record straight, because again, I had my own thoughts. I'm like, wait a minute. He on the run. He hide. What the heck? Like what? And then the cleaning up the scene. I'm like, these are police. They know if you cleaned up the scene. I'm like, wait a minute. So that's not necessarily true. That is not true. Once people get some wine and smoke and wind down for the day. What you mean, Vine? Oh, Vine said it's better in the evening. It is better in the evening, but so let me kind of tell y'all something. So a lot of the larger creators do lives in the evening. I'm not trying to compete with them. So, it works like the more following you have, the more spread your videos. I'm not trying to compete with somebody with 1 million followers. So I get it. Yes. The lives are better in the evening. You just got to pick the right time. That's all. You just got to pick the right time. So, I mean, my prayers go out for both families. It's a messed up situation. It's a really, really messed up situation. It really is. And, Rasheeda and Kirk being a celebrity, I know they just, it's a lot. It's definitely a lot. And then you have, Kelsey, man, he's gone, and now you got the 2 brothers involved. It's just an ugly situation. No matter how you look at it, it's a very ugly situation. And hopefully, people can. I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. What Kay said. I love the lives. I'm at work in my office, and it's nice to listen and comment. Okay, Kay. I'm going to keep that in mind. All I need y'all to do is like the video, okay? All I need y'all to do is like the video. But yeah, so like I said, Kai did live there. So again, that changes the narrative, because I was like, oh no, they went over to the house. So originally I thought that what's her name? Kelsey and the boyfriend lived together. But what I'm learning is they didn't live together. But it's interesting, because when I heard from what the sisters were saying online, they did. But keep in mind, y'all, living with somebody is really having your mail and stuff going there. But y'all do know in some relationships, you could be dating somebody and they stay over a lot. That's really not the same. But I mean, it could seem to some people like he do live there. He's always there. But to really be a resident somewhere, you really supposed to have your mail going there. That is what they consider you live there. So what I'm being told is he did not live there like that. He could have spent a lot of time there, but didn't live there like that. So if that makes sense. All right, Talisa girl, welcome. I appreciate it. Who at work? Who at work? Put a 1 in the chat if you at work. If you making that money. I'm gonna lie. Kurt probably likes this attention. I don't think no parent would like this. I don't think so. This is not the kind of attention nobody wants. I have to disagree. Not this type of attention. People don't play about their kids. I don't care how old. Let me tell you something. My daughter be like, look, would you stop calling me? Because she'd be like, girl, leave me alone. Like, I am an adult. But you don't care like how old your kids is always kids to you, no matter how old they get. So I don't think nobody wants this attention, because this is the type of attention you don't want. Now, I don't know if you guys had the opportunity to see some of the stuff Kelsey was putting online, and Kelsey had said that people had been threatening her. So don't nobody want nobody wants that type of attention, especially, dealing with their adult kids, talking about threats and stuff. I don't think this is the kind of attention nobody wants. Okay, we got one work from home. Okay, with the work from home, like Donald Trump with his old dusty tail trying to send everybody back to the office. Bye. That's right, work from home. And in all honesty, when you work from home, you really do more work. So I don't know who said that people that work from home don't work. And it's more cost effective. I like working from home because I got everything in my house. I don't got to run out to get food. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. When I worked in the office, I did the work in the office and I went home. I noticed working from home, I tend to work more because I got more time. But, we got this old dusty president in office that think he's a king. Demon R. I wonder why Rasheeda are so silent, because it's a legal issue. I don't know what she would say. Nothing. There's nothing she can say to make this better. There is nothing that she can say, because it don't matter what Rasheeda said, it will not be right. Think about it. Somebody lost a relative. There's nothing you can say. Like, what can Rasheeda say? Nothing. It's nothing Rasheeda can say. And y'all got to keep in mind, really, Rasheeda and Kirk don't really got nothing to do with this. These are just their adult children. Like, they don't got nothing to do with this. They wasn't there. They have nothing to do with this. Okay, so we got a few work from home. T. Nicole, Too Sweet for Candy, Miss Bell. We got Kimberly Moore says, I'm at work. Kay at work. Definitely don't want it, but Kurt is odd. His daughter needs to stay offline, right? We got Tina Perfume Love. Is it potent? Work from home, right? Work from home. That's what I'm talking about, y'all, because I quit a job if I can't work from home. Please. I'm not going to be traveling in that damn traffic, getting into accidents. It is not worth it. Anything I can do in the office, I could do from home. And I work from home. You don't want me to go in the office, because as soon as it's time to go, I'm running out the door. As a matter of fact, I'm packing up my stuff before it's time for me to go. Quit playing. Because if I leave at 4 o'clock, I'm walking out the door at 3:58. Quit playing with me. Pelly is at work. Kay said, I work one day from home a week. I usually pick Fridays, right? That's a good day. Or Monday if you don't want to go in. Hey, Motor Culture. Right, I live in Houston. It's too much damn traffic. You live in Houston. Hey, stay in the house. So I thought about moving to Houston. I thought about that. Well, that was before I moved to Georgia. I'm stuck here. I could never move again. Somebody, Desmond said, I hope that the rapper can get justice on who did that to him. RIP. Yeah, we just got to, like I said, keep waiting. Like I said, I did request a report, because I'm like, I wasn't there either, but I'm like, this story don't add up, because again, honey, I know in Georgia, they're going to put your ass in jail. They're going to throw away the key. You ain't going to get no bond. That's just what they do. That's just what they do here. It was mentioned on a post, Kurt and Rasheeda picked them up from around the corner. Kimberly, I heard that too. And I don't know what that meant. Because think about it. If the police had already interviewed them and they were free to go and they picked them up around the corner, I guess they can pick them up anywhere, but they're not on the run. The police are not looking for them, that's what I was thinking. Like, oh, the police looking for them? Nah, they're not looking for them. She said, don't do it. We full. Oh, Tina, you gonna act like that, girl? I'm not trying to come to Houston. She said, we full. Girl, I said, no, I'm here. I can't move nowhere else. Motor culture. I just love it when I see you live because I feel like your channel is the essence of what social media is about. You interact with the chat, we talk about issues, and it's fun and safe place. Thank you. I'm gonna, like I said, I want to go live, but in all honesty, I really try to write down like different times, and I'm still trying to work to see what would be a good time to go live, because if y'all at work, y'all can just like y'all doing now. You don't necessarily got to come up and say nothing. Like you can just, be interacting in the chat, that's cool. Here in the DMV area, traffic was much better with Fed government workers at home, right? And see, for me, I live in Duluth and I'm just like an old lady. I stay in my area. Before somebody get in my car, for instance, my son, where you going? Boy, get out my car. You know that I stay in the area that I live in. I don't go outside my area. If I do, I'm planning it. I just don't jump on, the highway going into Atlanta. Absolutely not. I have to know when I'm going and what the traffic like. I don't have time for that. And in Georgia, when I go places, I take the street. I do not get on the highway at all. I'm not going to be sitting there backed up in traffic. I think Kurt and Rasheeda should. I don't know what you mean, Reggie 2K. You said, I think Kurt and Rasheeda should, and the daughter. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. If you can put that back in the chat. I'm in Maryland. Don't work anymore. Palace princess and retired Air Force veteran. That's what I'm talking about, girl. Because let me just tell you something. Listen, Linda. I thought about getting a job, but I think I'm over these jobs. I'm just gonna be honest. I have my real estate license and I'm working to open up my own to become a broker because I don't think I can do it. I think I'm over the job at this point. I think I'm over it. I really do. I really think I'm over it. The only job I want to work at this point is one that I create. And let me just tell you why. I thought when I moved to Georgia, I was like, great, I get to work with more Black people. Baby, I don't know who worse, the Black or the white people, because I'm over it. The only job I really want to work is one that I create. I don't know that I want to go back into that environment because it can be very toxic and my mental health is very important. So I just don't know if I can do it anymore. Tina, Lakeisha, I'm nosy in they damn hairstyle. Oh, girl, you know what? So let me just tell you something about me. So I started it and that's so crazy because I rolled past there the other day and I saw her in the window. And I never followed up because I'm gonna just be honest. I just really wanted my money back. I really don't care who hair the girl do. And obviously, she go to people, they like it. To be honest, I really just wanted my money back. I thought about like writing my letter to the board and I was like, just leave that girl alone. I just really wanted my money back. I'm gonna just be honest. I just really wanted my money back. Now, if she wouldn't have gave me my money back, I would have probably wrote a letter to the board. But I feel like the people that go to her, they probably don't care that she's not licensed. And I don't care either. T. Nicole, where are you originally from? I am from Wisconsin, girl. I'm from Wisconsin, born and raised, and had to get the hell up out of there. Because when I tell you, if y'all think Atlanta bad, baby, Wisconsin is really bad. And everywhere you go, you see the same damn people. So I had to get up out of there. But also, too, where I'm from, Wisconsin, a lot of people that I know have moved away. So it's like, it doesn't even seem like home anymore because a lot of people don't even live there anymore. Oh, yeah, that's what I was saying, Kay. So the hairstylist, she did give me my money back. She's still working there. And like I said, I rolled past there yesterday and I was like, I never sent a letter to the board because at this point, I really don't care. I just really wanted my money back. Like the girl, I mean, I guess she need a job. Everybody need to work, but I just really wanted my money back, to be honest. She's still there. In relation to the thumbnail picture, honestly, I think Kirk and Rasheeda dropped the ball when it comes to raising their children to be righteous, self-loving, and responsible decision-making adults. Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. I feel like every parent's different. Me, listen, I'm a very different kind of parent. Like my daughter, I used to really be on her, but I have really let her go because my daughter is exactly like me, but way better. So I don't have anything to worry about with her. I still be asking about dudes to see if she's dating anybody. But when I tell you, I feel like I gave her all of the tools that she need. She got it. Like she's way better than me. So I don't really press her as much, but I do my sons. And let me just tell you why. The reason why I press my sons is because my sons did not have a male in the house. So me as a female, I realized that I wasn't able to give them everything that they needed because I'm not a man. And there's no way of me being a woman that I always know what they need. So with my boys, sometimes I noticed that because they were raised by me, they're very giving, and sometimes they can be fooled. So I'm always watching over them to see what they're doing and stuff like that. I'll just give you an example. One of my sons had a friend, and I was about to go and whoop this ass, y'all. So my son has, he has his own banking account, and, he's 18 now. He just turned 18, but because he was 17, his account was in my name, right? So I get a notification that his account is overdrawn. Like his account, I'm thinking like, maybe it's like 20, 30 something little. That damn thing said like $600 and some dollars. I jumped up. I said, boy, wake your ass up. What is this? So now I'm looking at his account. He done gave somebody, one of his friends, his debit card. The friend done put a fake check in this account and done overdrawed it. So I'm like, what was you thinking? Like, how would you give? You see what I'm saying? So boys are different. So with my boys, I'm really hands-on. Like even when my son get in the car, I'd be like all out there, like, who is this? Who is this? What is he doing? Like, listen, when I tell you I overkill, I done roll up on one of his little friends and blocked his car. Motherfucker, listen, let me tell you something. Don't come back to my house at 11 o'clock because we come in the house at 11. We don't leave at 11. So I'm very overbearing. I don't give a damn when it comes to mines. So, but I think everybody parent different. But because I know it's vultures out there, I let them know I'm a little bit crazier than you. So you might want to proceed with caution. Wait, you said Wisconsin worse than Chicago. Yeah, you ain't got to tell me. I left. Yeah, I left. And in all honesty, I lived in Oak Creek, so I moved out far in the suburbs. But the issue there is when you're from Wisconsin, so I was from Milwaukee, but we moved out in Oak Creek. But what tends to happen is when a person wants to hang out, they go to Milwaukee. I didn't want my kids going to Milwaukee because I felt like if they were to go to Milwaukee, something could happen. So I was like, I'm getting up out of here. I said, I'm getting up out of here. So Veronica, you say you from, I thought I just said, somebody said, Veronica said, I'm from Wisconsin. You're from Wisconsin. Do you still live there? Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. I'm from Wisconsin. My family still lives there. How cool. I went to graduate school. I went to graduate school. What graduate school you went to? I went to Concordia. Yeah, I went to graduate school there. I went to school, period, there. I have not went to any other school outside of the one in Wisconsin. I'm over people now, 80s baby, and people have no communication skills. I worked 25 years and now just enjoying my husband and traveling. Good for you, girl. They don't. See, well, if you think they don't have communication skills, wait to the next 5 to 10 years because now people text you everything. And if I'm not one of those people. You can only text me a few things and then I'm gonna start responding. I don't mind text, but please don't text me every single thing and you think I'm gonna be texting you all day. I'm from Racine. I'm very familiar with Racine. I used to have relatives that lived there. I'm very familiar with that. Racine in the house. Kay said, growing up in Cali, all the people who committed a lot of crime would run and hide in Idaho. Really? Or Wisconsin? We said Idaho or Wisconsin. Veronica, are you still in Milwaukee? If I go to Milwaukee, I got to have a strap or something. Milwaukee is, I never thought that I would get to the place where I was afraid to go to my own hometown. When I tell you it's bad, it is bad. Like people are getting pum just by mistake. So I don't be knowing about Milwaukee no more. Yes, I do. Oh, okay. You went to UW of Madison. Okay, I know. I used to live in Madison. My mother lived in Madison for a very long time. So my mom lived in Madison. I could not live in Madison. It was way too white for me. So I left and I moved to Milwaukee with my grandmother, which was my mother's mother. And then I left and lived with my father's mother. Madison was way too white for me. I couldn't do it. My first husband was from Beloit. Okay, Beloit is in that same area. So that's not far from Wisconsin. But Madison has gotten a lot of Black people lately. But during the time that I was there, it wasn't a lot of Black people. So I couldn't live there. My thing is this. Why Rasheeda still with Kirk in the first place? He cheated on her millions of times. If that was my mother's, she would have left him. Now, y'all know Rasheeda just made a song, honey. She ain't leaving Kirk. She ain't leaving Kirk. She ain't leaving Kirk. What y'all saying? Yeah, it has real. You listen. Whenever I go, normally I keep up with Milwaukee on my Facebook, and sometimes I hate to look at it. Like there was just a guy named. Did you know Tweezy? Did you know him? He just got pum. And this was, I think this was a mistake. They wasn't even trying to. So it's just been, when I grew up in Wisconsin, we used to sit on the porch to 3-4 o'clock in the morning. And my grandmother lived in the heart of the hood. You can't do that today. So I just don't know how to take Milwaukee, because when I was growing up as a kid, it wasn't like that. Now it's just so bad. I just didn't want my kids to be around that. And the reason too is because when I tell you, I know so many of my, I won't say friends, because I don't have any friends whose, children has passed away, but I know a lot of associates. Like I know so many people who have lost their sons, and I just couldn't live there. I was just like, I can't. I at least wanted to, take a step to at least leave that environment, because my kids are like, they're not used to that. So I was like, I can't, I'm not putting them in that environment. I grew up in the ghetto. They didn't. So they don't know how to, maneuver that type of lifestyle. You said something about Tweezy. Yes, Tweezy. Yeah, I when did I meet? I think I first met him probably about 30 years ago, because I'm 50. I would have met him when I was about 20. So yeah, it was very sad. I was like, wow. It's always kids of privilege who have a crazy fascination and interest in being thugs and gangsters and wanting to be from the hood, doing hood SHIT. Yeah. I was so shocked though when I found out that was Rasheeda's son, because in my mind, I was like, no, not Rasheeda kids. So, when I saw that, I was like, ooh, this is too much. TMZ reported that Kirk Frost is a primary suspect, according to Gwinnett County incident report. And that's okay. That's correct. So I know people were putting in the chat, and what we originally heard was both brothers. It's just one brother. Just so y'all know, it's not two. It's just one, and that was some of the misconception. It was allegedly Kai. not both brothers. And that's why I said, look, I got to get the police report because something about this don't make sense. Oh, Val said, I grew up on 4th and Locust. Okay, girl. And see, my grandmother was on 25th and Fond du Lac. On 25th and Fond du Lac, there are, well, it depends on which side you're on, but it's 2 houses on the corner. Now, my grandmother owned the second house from the corner, and what ended up happening is she died, and my cousin ended up buying the house. My cousin ended up buying the house, and this is how I'm trying to kind of describe to y'all how bad Wisconsin has gotten. So my cousin ended up buying the house. She gave she didn't give it. She rented it to her brother. So her brother decides to go out. He chilling. Somebody shot him and killed him. So Milwaukee, I don't really like Milwaukee like that because it's just got so many bad memories. My brother was riding in a car with his cousin and got killed, both of them. So I don't really like Milwaukee. Veronica said, what high school did you go to? So I went to 2 high schools. I started at Marshall. I went to Marshall for 1 year, but I ended up graduating from James Madison. Well, it's not, I think they renamed it now. I don't think it's called James Madison. I think it's called, they gave it a different name. It's not James Madison. Veronica said 29th and Locust. Now, is that by that fish market? Because I will always go to Locust. It's like a fish market over there that I like. Somebody said, I don't know nothing about no Illuminati. Teresa said, is it true they got fired from Love and Hip Hop? I don't believe that. Why would they get fired from Love and Hip Hop when people will want to watch it more just to see if they're going to find out some more information? I don't believe that. My kids went to Whitefish Bay schools, that area driving, getting bad, 2 police chase. Yeah, it used to be pretty good over there. You know what school district I like? It was, what's the Whitefish Bay? But I know what you mean, what area you're talking about. So mine went to Oak Creek High School. Now, prior to y'all, so I lived in Oak Creek, but I let my kids go to Milwaukee College Prep, which I hadn't gave them the wrong address because I really wanted them to be around people that look like them. But let me tell y'all why I took them out of Milwaukee College Prep. Because for one thing, I sent my kids to that school because I wanted them to be around Black kids, but I wanted them to be around, a good environment where they were teaching them. And then, they give them a lot of homework. So it was a good school. But why they keep calling me, talking about they had somebody was powing on the playground, I took my kids. I'm like, no, y'all can't come to the school no more. I'm like, no, because it seemed like during that time, they kept having shootings on the playground. Like people would be like shooting across the street. I'm like, no, y'all can't go to the school no more. So I ended up taking them out of there. Oh, Val, you say yep, that's what it's called, Madison University. Now you say you went to Madhouse. What year did you graduate? Now I'm gonna be honest, child. I was supposed to graduate in 94. I did not graduate in 94, but I graduated. I did not graduate in 94, but I definitely graduated. Yes, Val, the fish market on 12th Street. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But I don't know what Milwaukee College Prep is doing now, but it had kind of gotten a little bit too ghetto. But like I said, I wanted my kids to go there, so they can be able to see kids that look like them, but it had gotten a little bit too bad. Teresa said, is Wisconsin a blue state? See, I don't live there anymore. I don't know. I know it was, but I thought it had kind of went red. That's a good question. I can tell you this from living there. Wisconsin is very different than Georgia. I'll give you an example. Georgia is not giving you any type of medical assistance. So you ain't getting it here. Don't even try to get it. Wisconsin, You can apply for Medicaid if you don't have a job. You cannot apply for it here. If you don't have children in like high school or something, you're not going to get it. So don't even try it. So it's Georgia is very, very different. They don't participate in that. They do participate in Medicaid, but just not for people who can work or for people who don't have kids. Oh, Val, you said it's not the same. Okay. When I think of Wisconsin, I think of horses, country, mountains, blue sky, and fresh air. You know, that's so funny because people who've never been to Wisconsin act like they don't know nothing about Wisconsin. Yeah, Wisconsin is pretty much street. I mean, it's just like any other place. It's just really, really small. That was one of the things. It's really small. You know how in Georgia it takes you forever to drive for it. No, you can get around the whole city in probably a half an hour. So it's not that. I briefly lived on 6th and Reservoir. Okay. I went to Vincent High School. Okay. For my freshman year, my dad lived in Milwaukee most of his adult life and used to work at Lena's grocery stores, not Lena's. And so I taught too for Milwaukee Public Schools, and I would go to Vincent High School because what I started doing is, I started teaching high school. So yeah, I know Vincent. Vincent was one of my schools. Yep, yep. Not Lena's grocery store. So Lena's grocery store is a black-owned store that people would go to. Yes, yes. I know what Lena's is. My neighborhood high school, a kid got pow beginning of this year. I said to myself, what are these kids getting these from? I thought they changed the laws. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm so glad that I don't have no kids in school no more. Last year was my last year. Everybody here is grown, child. They either in college. My son is going to aviation school. He doesn't want to go to college. He wants to go to aviation school, so that's good. Hey everyone, just catching up on the live. I've also heard that the house that T Hood, Kelsey, and Kai is one of Rasheeda. Yeah, not sure. Yeah, that is, they do own that property. Yep. Girl, in Milwaukee, you looking at, yeah, you ain't got to tell me. Yeah, and so the thing that I didn't like about Milwaukee too, y'all, is when crimes are committed, they act like they can never find a person. My friend Ronell lost his son. Ronell's son was a good kid. Never, he ain't never been to jail, had went to college. My friend Ronell lost his son, and y'all wouldn't even, he was in his house. So he was literally in his house. Somebody was doing donuts on his grandparents' property. He was, in the house with his grandparents. Y'all know he looked out the window and they was shooting, shot him in the eye, and he eventually died. That's why I don't like Milwaukee. It's a lot. So my friend, one of my good friends, lost his son. I think that was my only friend, now that I'm thinking about it, that lost his son. Now I have associates, but I didn't really have any friends that had lost their, kids, but except for him. And me and Ronell have been friends for about 30 years now. I used to love going to Capitol Court. Girl, no, you didn't bring up Capitol Court. I used to love, see, you are OG. You don't put that because people don't know nothing about Capitol Court. Remember they used to have the movies in Capitol Court? Yeah, because see, my grandmother lived on Fond du Lac, and that's like right up the street. Side note, y'all know Yandy has developed political connections in Atlanta because she trying to run for mayor. Yes, it ain't gonna work. Rasheeda burned that bridge with Yandy. She could have got a favor of. Yeah, Yandy she won't be mayor here, and I'm gonna tell you why, because she's not from Atlanta. One thing about Atlanta, they like to pass the torch to people who've been here. Yandy will not be the mayor here. She's not from here, so they're never gonna let that fly. She's not gonna be the mayor here. She can try though, but she's not gonna be the mayor here. Maybe he was hitting on Kelsey and the brother. Okay, maybe. We'll have to wait to see. We would have to wait to see. Somebody said on being the most empty. Let me see that comment. Congrats on almost being an empty nester. what what advice do you have on cope? Girl, listen. I never said empty nester. Ain't nobody left. I said, I don't know if I have it too good, but let me just kind of tell y'all what type of parent I am. So my daughter is gonna go to law school, so she has one more year. So she's still got a full, probably 4 more years to go. She's gonna I think she got one more year, then she's gonna graduate. But she want to go to law school. I don't push my kids out because this is how I see life. A lot of times we'll just, try to push our kids out, get a job. It's hard out there. So if it's hard for me at my age, why would it not be hard for them? So I don't push them out, with saying, get you, this and do this. Listen, whatever they do with their life is still not going to affect me. I still got the same bills, go to school, do whatever it is you need to do. So it's not really an empty nester here. My daughter did move away, which she was right at Clark. So she wasn't that far because I really didn't want her to be far. She did stay on campus at Clark. But one of the reasons why she ended up leaving Clark was, for one, they was really unprofessional. I mean, when I tell you unprofessional, and it was too high. She decided that she did not want to pay, all of that high tuition when she can go elsewhere. So she decided to stay at home, and then she goes to the school that's not far. And guess what? It's all free because she got good grades. She don't have to pay nothing. So she felt like, look, why should I pay this high tuition to go to Clark where I had to take out a loan, y'all, $20,000. Okay. So I was like, girl, I'll do this for the first year, but baby, you better get all A's so that you can go for free. But she decided she did not want to further indebt herself with loans when she can just go to a whole nother school and go for free. And I was like, girl, that's what you should do, because at the end of the day, she still has to go to law school anyway. So it's not like she's going to be done with school. She still has to go to law school. But in terms of an empty nester, girl, I ain't no empty nester. They still here. They ain't left. I can't tell you nothing because I'm not living the empty nester life. Now, in terms of okay, let me put that back up there. You said, what advice do you have to cope when my oldest starts college? So my daughter is very different from my sons. In terms of when she started college, what did I do? Pretty much nothing, but bought her the stuff that she needed. She's very organized, so I didn't have to do anything with her. Like when I tell you the girl got it together, she got it together. Now with my sons, it was different. So it depends. Boys are very different. My sons was very different. Now with my other son, keep in mind, he's not going to college. He's going to a technical school, and I believe he starts like on a 20 something. And if you ask me what I'm gonna do, keep going up there. That's what I'm gonna be doing, because I know, he a little different child. I got to go up there and be up there. I even told him I want to volunteer. So he a little different child. Boys are different. I learned with my sons, they are very disorganized. My daughter is so organized. So I don't know if it's a boys thing or if it's just because they are boys and really haven't had to see what a man is doing on the day-to-day. I don't know what that's all about. Like I said, with my sons, it'd be really different because I'm not a boy, and I'd be wondering, like, what y'all doing? Like, why you do this? Like, what? Boys are different. They're very different. Very different. So it really depends on, is your child a girl? Is your child a boy? Like I said, with my daughter, she was very organized. My daughter wanted to go to school, so it's not like I was forcing her to go. So I really didn't have to do a lot for her because she was pretty much ready. You said, poor Rasheeda, this is a mother's nightmare, what's happening to her kids. And that poor mother who lost her son in the mess. Her son is no longer. That's what I'm saying. That's just bad. It's bad however you look at it. And that's why, I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say about that. Yandy can, what you say here? Yandy can try, but I don't see that happening. Yeah, she's not gonna be the mayor here. I can guarantee you that. This Atlanta sticks with Atlanta, so she is not Atlanta. She ain't gonna be able to come from New York and be the mayor. She probably can go back to New York, but not in Georgia. They ain't gonna let it happen. You have to understand that they're going to nominate the people from Atlanta, not some. How is Yandy gonna be the mayor here? She ain't even from here. Why would she even want to be the mayor? You're not from here. You should be the mayor of the city that you were born in. Like, I mean, that would make more sense. Yeah, she's not going to be the mayor here. I can guarantee you that. He said, mine graduated too this year. I told him to come back home for a bit. Yeah, that's one thing I don't do. Like I said, I feel like when growing up, I always felt like if I would have had a little bit more support, like when I worked, they wanted me to pay bills, like I'm just now thinking that I'm going to make my kids pay something because they take shit for granted. And let me just give you an example. Let's say I was arguing the other day because I was making steak, baked potato, and salad. Now, for some reason, these boys, it's like they put a straw in the ranch dressing. And I'm like, look, I'm not going to keep going back to the store buying stuff. So I had bought ranch dressing for the last 2 weeks and they keep using it. So I'm like, look, I need to make them pay something because why do y'all just misuse stuff? If you're going to use the ranch, just put a little bit. Why y'all got to use the whole damn thing? But I don't even make them pay anything. And I'm, like I said, I'm starting to think about that because I think they may take me for a little bit for granted. But one of the reasons why I don't is because I remember people always trying to make me pay for stuff. And I felt like, growing up, I was just trying to, make my own money. And then, having to do all of this stuff that, grown people was asked. And I was 17 to 18. I wish I didn't have to do all that. I sincerely agree with you, ma'am. My daughter is 23 and did a year in college, decided it wasn't for her. Now she's working with children, but wants to go into the medical field. I mean, a lot of these kids want to go to technical school. And I'm going to be honest with you. When I went to college, I didn't know anything about technical school. Maybe if I would have known, I would have, chose a better route. Yep, you right. Same story with me. My son, a Libra, he said school don't matter. Just give me my degree, that all that matters. Okay. Val. Right. She tried to portray this happy home life and all of this mess, knowing that she ain't right for any of this. Who you mean? Yandy? Are you talking about Yandy? Now I think about it. Yandy is so concerned with image. But if you remember, that's what her husband said. He said, Yandy is she got to be concerned with image because you are still married to a man that's running around the city with everybody. Listen, I'm a weirdo when it comes to diseases. I think I would be more concerned about him giving me a disease than anything else. So I would be like, bro, she can have you. So listen, y'all, we in Georgia, honey. They said that the numbers is up there. So I don't know about all this creeping around stuff. It's diseases out here. Yeah. I'm 45 minutes from ATL. Where are you at? Where are you at, Reggie? Where do you live? Right. Black families. Let me tell you something. I talk to white women all the time, especially when I go to my swim class. The lady, my swim instructor's son is 26. Her daughter is 28. They still at home. I mean, they still in school. They got other things going on. Here's the deal. Why do you push your kids out to just leave your house and go rent a home? Wouldn't it make sense for them to save their money? And then if they're going to pay rent, they can just give you a few dollars, which would be cheaper than them renting a house. Like this is what I told my kids. if you're going to move, get you a job so that you can buy you a house, because you're going to move out and rent something for what? Like, you might as well stay here then. What's the purpose? Why are you going to move out of a house that I'm renting till you rent one? Let's be a little bit smart here. Now, I'm really renting because I really need to find me a house to buy. But what is the purpose of you moving out to rent another house? I mean, if that's what you want to do, I mean, I tried to help you, pick your poison, but that's right. I forgot. Yeah, Yandy is from New York. She is not going to be the mayor here. She will not. Atlanta sticks together. They're not going to let her be the mayor. Right. They would probably elect Jock before they elect Yandy. She's not from here. She's not from here. I wouldn't want Yandy as no kind of mayor because she has proven she makes poor decisions as it relates to romantic personal life. Oh, girl, you said Pleasant Prairie. Yeah, I know about Pleasant Prairie. Oh, your daughter went to Alverno, the girls' school. Okay. Isn't Alverno the all-girls school, I think? Because I was going to go to Alverno. And I was like, I don't know if I can go to the all-girls school. She's now at MATC. Oh, in Oak Creek. Okay. She says she needs a program that moves a little faster. Okay. Yeah. See, I used to live right up the street from MATC in Oak Creek. I know exactly. So my cousin went there. He went to MATC Oak Creek. So he's a firefighter. Yeah. So he went to MATC Oak Creek. He's a firefighter and a paramedic. Mm-hmm. A little form of responsibility and contribution is different than paying a little bill. Right. And being burdened with your parents' responsibility. I like that, Kendra. A little form of responsibility and contributing is different than paying a bill and being burdened with I like that. And that is what I wanted to do, because I don't want to, because I feel like when I was growing up, I was given the burden of my parents' responsibility. I shouldn't have to pay something because your money low. You need to move somewhere where we can afford, or you need to figure it out. So I never wanted to give my kids that. Like, I'm not going to be like, pay this, because girl, I may be like, get out. Like, you go find your own house. So I don't want you to feel like you are an equal partner in this. This is my house. If I tell you to get out, you go, you got to go. So I like how you put it. You said a little form of responsibility and contribution. Now, at one time, I told my daughter, listen, I want you to pay the gas bill. That helper never paid it. So that is kind of what I want to do. I want to give them some form of responsibility. And simply because I'm starting to think that they think money, except for their money, fall out the sky. And I don't like that. I don't like that. They need to understand that I'm a human being, and I hate when I got to keep going back to the store buying the same damn thing. I like that. President Obama is the one who really pushed younger adults and moms, encouraging them to return to school and earn more. We miss him. I don't know, girl, because nobody never had to push me to work. So I don't know. But everybody is different. I mean, I've worked. I don't know. Everybody is different. I guess that just wasn't my life, because I was always working. I never had the type of life that I didn't have to. So I don't know. Well, somebody said, can we talk about the topic, please? We talked about the topic. We just talking amongst ourselves. We've been here for about an hour and 23 minutes. So I'm sorry if you're just tuning in. You can always go back and rewind it. We've kind of talked about that already. It's in the, in there, you can rewind it. So I'm just answering, people's questions. We've kind of talked about, the situation with, Kurt and Rasheeda's son. And I can just tell you this, you say you just jumped on, but you can rewind it. I had pretty much got on to kind of talk about what is being stated with regards to what really happened. Now, one of the things that I said was that there will eventually be a police report that's going to come out that's going to say exactly what happened. But one of the things that I did want to say is that Kai is not on the run. The police is not looking for him. All of that is just not true. And we kind of went over that. So like I said, right now we just talking about other stuff. You just have to rewind it because we kind of talked about that. I was just reading people questions. Okay, you said, I also wish some of the content creators would do their research correctly, trying to guess if Yandy and Mendices are legally married, because they are. They didn't file the paperwork until 2020 when he got out. Yeah, she said that. I mean, she had said that they were not married because she didn't want to be liable for anything that he had done when he had gotten convicted. So I think, so here's the deal. I think when you talk about when they got married or how they got married, I think the issue is probably what state. I guess at this point, people really don't care. I think people don't care because people are forever going to say they ain't married. I mean, people going to keep saying, I mean, if you look in the chat, people keep saying they're not married for real. Yeah. So then, like I said, she cleared that up. She stated that, you know, they were not married until he got out of jail, which makes sense. She's like, look, I don't want to marry him. If he's liable to pay some, I don't want them to come back and try to make me pay it. Okay. Oh, okay, y'all. I already touched bases on the Kirk and Rasheeda thing, child. I came in late, so I'm going to just kick back and join the casual conversation. And you know what? You can rewind it. Like, I know we're just talking live, but you can rewind it and start it from where, you know, we were talking about that. Yes, especially if they are used to constantly receiving. I notice my daughter isn't a giver at all. Yes, Veronica. Now you see what I'm saying? I have realized that, except for my one son. Now, my oldest son, his love for me is very different. And I think it's because it was just me and him for like 3 years. But my other son and my daughter, their lives revolve around them. And I said that is because somewhere along the line, I made them think that it is always about them. And I have started to change that. You're absolutely right. Yeah, that is correct. And that is why I said that I'm going to make them pay a bill, because I want them to understand it is not about your ass. Yep, exactly. Bless One says, do you like Atlanta better than Wisconsin? I do like Atlanta better than Wisconsin. And I'm going to tell you, you know, some of the things that I love here. When I lived in Wisconsin, I would always do different stuff. Like if I was working this job, I would be doing this on the side. And people would always say, why you do all of that? Like, why you just won't do this? Let me do what I do. But when I come to Georgia, people be working here. They be doing this. They be doing this. So I kind of feel like I fit in a lot because I really am a workaholic. Not saying people in Wisconsin don't work. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that in Georgia, you will find somebody work a full-time job. They do this at night. They do this on the weekend. So I do find that, you know, here you find a lot of hustlers. Now, one thing I don't like is you find a lot of scammers. They be scamming they off. Not saying they don't scam in Wisconsin, but they scam here to the point that it gets on my damn nerve. But I do like it better. Some aspects of it, and then some things I don't like. Like I said, the scamming is out of control. It is out of control. Like you can't trust nobody. You cannot trust nobody. That's what I don't like. Opposed to, I originally moved to Georgia in I can't remember now. It was like 2012 or something like that. When I moved to Georgia in 2012, I had only stayed here for about 6 months. It was very different. I noticed now we got a lot of people that don't live in Georgia that come from all over. I felt like when I came the first time, it was very different than now. It's like so many people that's not even from here. Also, what I've noticed is people that, and this could be true or false, I noticed that a lot of people that live in the Atlanta area generally are from Atlanta, and the people that live are out a lot of times they're not. And that, I mean, that can be depending on which way you look at it. But yes, if so, here's the deal. I would never ever go back to Wisconsin. If I decided that I wanted to move to Georgia, I would just move somewhere else. I would never move back to Wisconsin. I would never move back to Wisconsin. And keep in mind, the majority of my family live there. Okay, I'm still never gonna move back there. My oldest daughter wants to move to ATL after college graduation. What are the demographics? Oh, so the thing that I love about Georgia is you have so many different places to choose from. It depends on where you want to live. Like, obviously, if you want to be, more the city vibe, you might like the midtown. See, I don't really like the traffic, but unfortunately in Georgia, you're not really going to get away from it. I choose Duluth because I do have the traffic, but I don't have the ATL traffic. Okay, so that's why I choose Duluth. Another reason why I choose Duluth is because I just like Duluth is a part of Gwinnett, and Gwinnett is one of the larger communities where it's really diverse. So I didn't want to live a place where it's all blacks. I don't want to live a place where it's all whites. So Gwinnett is like one of those 30-30. You got 30 white, you got 30, black, you got 30 Asian. So it's very even based. So that's why I choose Gwinnett. But it really depends on what you like. Like, if you're a younger person, you might want to live like in Midtown. Like, you might want to live where it's popping. I don't want to live where it's popping. I don't want to live where it's popping. I want to live where it's boring. That's where I want to live. I heard Atlanta is very expensive nightlife. Girl, it is. ETC. And it's all about social status when it comes to blacks out there, and the traffic is insane. That is very true. It is. So going out is very expensive. Let me just give you an example. And this is why I stay in the house, because I'm cheap. So I took my son to the Braves game for his birthday. And it's like, I'm not going to drive to the Braves game, because if I drive, I have to pay for parking. Why would I pay parking $50, $60? If I'm going to do that, I'm just going to catch a Lyft or Uber. So get this. We pay for our tickets. We catch an Uber to get there. It's like, I don't know, $50. Okay, $50. We get there. Guess what happens? It rains. So guess what? They tell us it's delayed. But keep in mind, we done caught the Uber all the way down there for $30. It's raining. What we going to do? Like, we don't have nowhere to go. So at this point, they're like, saying that the game was canceled. So we caught it back. It cost us about $50 to get there. Do you know on the way back, it was like $85? So think about 85 plus 50. This does not even, take into consideration the tickets. So we get all the way back home. I'm looking online like, dang, they canceled it. The game was supposed to start, I believe, at 7. We came back home. Do you know they announced at like 10 that the game had restarted? So what were we supposed to do? Get back in Lyft and Uber and go back? So it is very expensive. So going out is extremely expensive. And a lot of people are about that social status. But see, me, I'm regular. I don't care about that. I'm a regular, smuggler person. I don't care about none of that. So none of that means absolutely nothing to me. I like genuine people, and I'm not with all the fake shit. Now, it's a lot of fake stuff here. People want to be around people for this and that. I ain't with none of that. So yes, it is. And see, I'm not like that. So I just don't gravitate to that. I'm 25, from Atlanta, born and raised. It depends on what your daughter likes, friend-wise, excitement-wise, etc. That's true. That's very true. And that's what I was saying. It depends. Like, if I was a younger me, I would probably want to live like in Midtown or something. But it really depends on what you want. I mean, whatever you want, I promise you it's here. Whatever you want. Atlanta was much better place to live. You're right. Back in the early 2000s, when I lived in Swanee, in Lawrenceville, it's way too crowded now. It is. And that's the area I live in. And let me just tell you this, Egyptian. I moved to Georgia around the 2000s. And let me tell you something. When I moved to Georgia, back then, I had 4 bedrooms. I had a living room. I had a dining room. I had an office. My rent was, I think it was about $1,500. That rent would be doubled now. So think about in 2000, the rent was so cheap, but now everybody is moving here. It's way too much. It's very expensive. It's not like what it used to be. Okay, I hear you. I'm from Wisconsin. I'm sorry, I'm from Madison. I live in Arizona now. If I change my king, if I change my mind about living here, maybe I'll just go somewhere else. Yeah, I'm not going back to Wisconsin. I can't. I can't live there. I just can't. I'm not ever going back to Wisconsin. I mean, I love my family. I just don't even want to go back to Wisconsin to visit because listen, y'all have no idea how many people I know that just went back home and got pum pum. You said, what is Sierra Gates' reputation around Atlanta? I mean, I think Sierra is a true depiction of who y'all see on social media or on the show. I think that's really who she is. I mean, I think who y'all see on social media is truly who she is. I don't hear anything bad about Sierra. That's why I say she is who she is. Who y'all see on the show. I think, she's pretty much who you see on the show. I mean, I used to question all of the boyfriends, but again, that's who she is. That's who she is. Oh, that is very okay. Veronica, this is a good one. Do your research before going to ATL. Jobs not easy to find. Let me just tell you why. This is a good one. So remember how I told y'all, I said Yandy would not become mayor in Georgia. Remember I told y'all that? Georgia is a type of place where you get things by who you know. So your resume and everything may be perfect for a job, but you won't get it because if they know somebody, they're going to put them in a job. Let me just give y'all an example. Around the time I had moved here, had transferred a job. And once I came here and I was doing a job, it was way different than the job I was doing in Wisconsin. So I was like, I'm over this. So I had shared with somebody, like, I'm looking for a job. Now, I had never in my life did taxes. I don't know nothing about taxes. I'm just going to keep it real. But because I knew somebody that told somebody, my friend is looking for a job, hire her. They hired me for the manager at H&R Block. Now, keep in mind, I don't do taxes, but I was the manager over a few H&R Blocks. So that's kind of how it works here. When you know people, you'll get stuff and you may not be qualified for it. So it's not that they don't have the jobs. It's just that Atlanta is one of those places you remember somebody had put in the chat about social status and stuff like that. You get stuff based on who you know. If you know somebody that knows somebody, hey, you can probably get the job, but it's not that they don't have jobs. It's just like, you may not get it if, you don't know certain people. 2, you can't even drive safe in Wisconsin. I witnessed on an ambulance with a passing in Milwaukee. I don't get that. Okay. You can't even drive safe in Wisconsin. I witnessed on an ambulance with a passing in Milwaukee. Mall, Fond du Lac? I don't think I understand that one. I researched Atlanta here on YouTube. You can watch people who give reviews on different cities, the jobs, the people, the food, the nightlife, people who live in their city, stayed here before. So Atlanta got everything wherever you want to go. Let me just tell you, It's a lot of places to go. Going out is expensive. I like to stay home. I mean, I do go places. A lot of the places I go is in my neighborhood. It's this rooftop bar that I like to go to. I'll go there, but I like to stay in my area, y'all. I don't got time to be in all that traffic and stuff. And then sometimes I'll catch a Lyft if I don't want to drive, or Uber. So that's kind of just how I am. But yeah, Atlanta, I mean, I think it's a good place to live, but I'm going to tell y'all what Atlanta is good for: your own business. So if you have an idea, or if you're doing something, I think this will be a good place for you. But somebody put in the chat about the jobs. I got to agree. It's not to say that they don't have the jobs. I just don't know who the hell they give them to. Now, when I first came here, like I said, I had transferred a job, but then I had experience working in the federal government. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get back in the federal government. But the only reason why I had applied for the position within the federal government is because I wanted to move up to different ranks. But what ended up happening is I got the job at the federal government and realized that they did the same thing there. It goes by who you know. And I was like, I just don't want to work here anymore. So it is. Atlanta culture is very different. It's very different. Very different. Like when I was in Wisconsin, if I wanted to apply for a job, I just send my resume and more than likely I'll get the job. Georgia is different because you have so many other people applying for the job because it's so big. And sometimes it may be a friend of somebody else. So very different. Okay. The ambulance had a passenger. You going to think Sinai ran into Milwaukee Mall. They called another ambulance to get the person. Are you saying Mount Sinai? Because I know that's a hospital. Sure. Are you saying like Mount Sinai? The ambulance or passenger, you're going to think Milwaukee Mall. The ambulance ran into Milwaukee Mall. For those of y'all don't know Milwaukee Mall, it's a small mall. It's kind of like in the city. What is y'all saying in the chat? So I think, like I said, I think Atlanta is a good place to live, but probably do your research on the job. And also too, a lot of times when you're trying to get a job in Atlanta, depending on where you live, a lot of times they won't give you the job. And let me just tell you why: because the traffic is so bad here. So that's something y'all need to know. If you are looking for a job, a lot of times they will ask you when you apply where you live. And depending on where you live, they won't give you the job. And it's strictly because of the traffic. I got to let y'all know that. I disagree. Connections only works for government jobs in Atlanta. Most people aren't from here, so that can't be true for every job. LOL, the job market is whack. Yeah, I couldn't be talking about every job. So I didn't have a government job, and I got the job based on somebody, basically saying hire me. So that wasn't my experience in Atlanta. Like I said, I was looking for a job, and actually, my friend who lived in Wisconsin called her cousin who lived in Atlanta and said, my friend looking for a job, and I got hired. I had never even interviewed. So that wasn't my experience. And I was actually, that wasn't my experience. So yeah. That wasn't my experience. That wasn't my experience at all. But yeah, if you guys are, I would say thank you, Egyptian, and thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. So I would say if you guys are thinking of moving to Georgia or some part of Georgia, I would say think about like, where do you want to live? Because it is so many places you can live. And then there's a lot of places you can live where the cost of living is not as much. You just got to really figure out what type of environment that you're looking for. Now, when I previously lived here, I lived in Gwinnett. One of the reasons why I moved in Gwinnett, because Gwinnett has one of the higher performing school districts. So you kind of got to know what you're looking for. If you got kids, like what kind of school district you're looking for. If you can know that, you would definitely find a community that you like. But I would say if you are trying to move here and you want a job, I would say get that before you come. Do that before you come, because it can be sketchy with the jobs. But one thing you're going to learn in Atlanta or Georgia, damn near everybody owns some kind of business or they're doing something. And, you know, sometimes they still work a job. So, I mean, I believe you can figure it out. I mean, it's a lot to do. Like I saw people do businesses and I'll be like, what kind of business is that? So you'll be surprised some of the stuff people do here. Somebody said the water boys. No, I ain't talking about that. Okay. They give a few, but they don't give you. They are gatekeepers, masons to the people in the ghetto down. And huh? I don't understand that question. Like I said, it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot going on in Atlanta. I mean, it's not all bad. It's not all good. I mean, I think that if I were to say, you know, if I was living in Wisconsin and Atlanta, I mean, I would still pick Georgia. I would still pick Georgia regardless. I feel like although Atlanta can pose a lot of uncertainties, because one thing I can say about Atlanta, people don't give a damn about what you're doing. They don't care. They're probably not going to be in your business because they simply don't care. But I think you would have a lot of options. You would have a lot of options. I think it's a lot of things you can do here. And I'll give you an example. The state that I originally got my real estate license in, you can't actually get your broker's license there unless you meet a higher criteria than Georgia. So it's different. You know, like I said, it depends on what it is you want to do. You got to just figure it out and just go for it. Don't be scared. You only live once. Don't be coming up with all these excuses. Just do whatever you need to do to make yourself happy. For me, I can never live in Wisconsin. My family live there. I can visit if they got something going on, but I will not live in Wisconsin. Yeah, I will not live in Wisconsin. It's just not going to work for me. Just a heads up, there are different reviews. Some reviews are meant for people who are thinking about moving to the city or country. Other reviews are just to see the city or country. Okay. Yeah, and that's the thing too about Atlanta. You can live in the country. And let me make sure y'all understand. In Atlanta, or should I say Georgia, in the country, there's Black people. So it's not like, you know, if you live in the country, it's going to be white people. One thing I can say, you know, a lot of places you go, you will see Black people. I mean, you will see Black people. So just do your research, you know, figure out, you know, where it is you want to be. You know, like for me, I like Black people. I just don't want to live with everybody being Black. I need diversity. So I knew that was a number one for me. I cannot be in any community where it's all white. I cannot be in a community where it's all Asian. I cannot be in a community where it's all Black. I need mixed. So that's why I'm in Gwinnett. So just know what y'all looking for. Now, again, when we started the video, we were talking about Love and Hip Hop, Rasheeda and Kirk Frost in the Sun, and what was being put out, you know, online with regards to saying that Kai was on the run. And you guys are going to have to rewind the video. But like I said, originally, he is not on the run. The police is not looking for him. And if y'all want to watch the full video, y'all just got to go ahead and rewind that, y'all. I got to go. I'll see y'all later.
Nothing got the scoop on lock. Spilling all the tea while it's still too hot. Late Keisha, queen of the plot. Hit that bell, cause the tea don't stop.